let people know, let the people at Dynamite know that that we want more Space Ghost. That we want more Space Ghost. We want more Space Ghost. It's been forever since I've reviewed a Space Ghost comic on here, but I have been reading it and I have been loving it. This was probably the perfect issue for me to highlight given the importance that it has in this second volume, so let's dive right in. At this point, I've said everything that there is to be said about this creative team. I mean, they all operate at like such a high level and work so cohesively and work so well together that they deliver on this book every single month. But for those of you who might be watching for the first time or looking into Space Ghost to see if you might be interested, I'll give you a quick rundown of what each of these creators brings to the table. The writer David Pepose brings dialogue to the table that is it's very impactful and meaningful, but also doesn't take itself too seriously. Space Ghost it's an old '60s cartoon at its heart, but the stakes in this book are extremely high. So David Pepose does a really good job of blending that perfectly. Additionally, he really likes to have themes of family and responsibility to one another throughout each one of these issues. It's something that's very prevalent throughout. That I enjoy quite a bit. Penciler Jonathan Lau has an extremely dynamic style that is also filled with very intricate line work. It's such an old school looking style, but also feels very fresh and new. Some of the panels and splash pages that he gives us are just extremely memorable and jaw-dropping. Andrew Dalhouse, the colorist, he fits his coloring style into Jonathan Lau's artwork perfectly. A lot of sci-fi books, you expect these colors to be these bright and popping colors, but the way that Andrew Dalhouse fits more flat colors and more texture into Lau's pencils, and it makes it a little bit more of a cohesive product instead of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Taylor Esposito is one of the best letterers out there, and Space Ghost is no exception to that. I love the care and attention that Taylor Esposito puts into each of these panels and each page. Not to mention the fact that he cares enough to go character by character, and especially with Zorak, giving them their own unique lettering style a lot of the time, and just making sure that he really drives home the dialogue that David Pepose puts into the script. In this issue, we come across Tempest the Time Master, who has been going around and hunting Space Ghosts throughout the multiverse. I'm really interested to see like a whole multiverse of Space Ghosts too, right? Like, I feel like the possibilities are endless. I mean, you could have like a Space Ghostette, or you could have a Yogi Bear Space Ghost combo, because they're both Hanna-Barbera. I feel like there's just so many possibilities. So, David, if you're watching this, I think that you should have a spin-off series where we get to see all those other Space Ghosts. So Tempest, the Time Master, has been hunting down Space Ghosts, and the heroes of our book are next. Before they even know that Tempest is coming, Space Ghost and crew are preventing a breakout at the Omegan prison, so we get to see our good friends from the Council of Doom, albeit for a brief amount of time. But it's nice to see them back and on the page here. When Tempest does arrive and gets to our heroes, it's a bit more of a challenging task than what he's used to. It seems like he's kind of just mowed through these, other Space Ghosts in other multiverse and throughout the multiverse, and so he has a bit of a harder time. But I still think that based on the fantastical fight that ensues, that Space Ghost and crew may be a little bit over their head. Now, I don't want to get into any spoilers too much, right? But this essentially sets up these next two issues, right? We're on issue 10, so it's setting up issue 11 and 12. It's a rare 3-part story arc that's going to close out this volume of the Space Ghost series. Now, I really hope that we're going to get a continuation here. I was a little worried about it last time, then we got another 12 issues, so I was happy. So make sure you get out and pre-order things, and make sure you show love to the creators here, so that you can, and share this video too, right? Let people know, let the people at Dynamite know that that we want more Space Ghost. I do really love the direction that this book took. I mean, Tempest is an extremely formidable villain, and he doesn't feel recycled at all. I mean, he's unique to in comparison to the other villains that Space Ghost and crew have fought. What's interesting, though, that you might not have realized, is that this is not the first mention of Tempest in the Space Ghost Dynamite comic. He actually is mentioned by name. He's not shown, but his name is mentioned back in Space Ghost number 10 of Volume 1. And it's, I believe, Space Spectre that that references Tempest as the person that sent him back in time. So I thought that was a very interesting kind of little, I don't know if I call it an Easter egg or what, but I thought it was a cool little tidbit there. But it's nice that Pepose can kind of call back to the older issues within his run to kind of bring that back, which I do feel like a lot of this, between the Council of Doom and that, this had a lot of kind of callbacks to the rest of the series. I highly recommend that you grab issue number 10 if you see it on the stands. And it's always a good time to check out Space Ghost. The series is very much so designed for new readers to come on and be able to enjoy it. You don't need to have any prior Space Ghost knowledge or any prior Space Ghost experience to be able to enjoy these issues. And honestly, even picking one up that's partway through a 2-part or 3-part issue or series arc, it doesn't make a difference. It's still something that you can enjoy. I think this is going to be a really wild finish, so make sure you get number 10 so that you can get into this full final story here. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like the video, make sure that you subscribe, check out my other videos here, and thank you so much for watching.